Hello everyone and welcome back to Stardew Valley Genshin Impact Edition. Now, the last time we were here, it was day 15 where we left off, and we just finished doing the egg hunt, which, spoiler alert, we did win, and we got this cool hat. Today, what we are planning on doing is money. That is my big goal for today. I want to get through the entirety of spring, and I want to get rich. Richer than anyone could imagine. And I want to buy that bag upgrade. I know that that's only 1,000 or 2,000 gold. Somewhere, it's only a small amount really, but that is my main goal for this entire thing. And then if we get that, it's just buying more things. Maybe like the fishing rod, other upgrades, you know, just all these things that we need to get upgraded, as well as like tools and stuff. Let's get into it. So as well as this, I also checked the mod page for the Dottore NPC, and they actually show the things that he likes and dislikes on there, you know, like the gifts that you can give. We don't have any of those gifts that he likes right now, so we'll just stick to crops from our farm because that's a generally good thing to give to any of the NPCs. So let's start with day 15. We went in and got some amazing little golden parsnips. We were able to get 3 of them gardened up, and we also had 2 saved away. So that means that we were able to get the 5 parsnips that we needed for the community center, because you needed 5 golden ones, and I was struggling with that last time, but we managed to get those, so we don't need to do that anymore. The parsnip story is over because they're not really worth it in the long run, and like I said before, money is what we want. So let's go and hand those in to the community center. And now it is money making time, now that we've got that out of the way with. So like I said before, we need around 2,000 gold to get the bag upgrade. I have needed this for so long because 1 line of storage when half of them are tools, not actually a lot of storage. Yeah, I'm sure people can tell that, but really it's not a lot. So I definitely need that upgrade as soon as possible. So we will sell everything else that we've had planted and make a profit from that. And then we want to make sure that we're buying the most powerful, expensive, profitable, not powerful, the most powerful crop in all the land. No, but we're trying to find the most profitable crop. Now, because of the time we're at in spring, obviously if you planted the cauliflower, you would get the most at the end of it. However, we would only be able to have like 1 or maybe 2 planting crops at the most, which isn't really a lot if we're trying to make a lot of money in the short time that we have. Maybe in summer, if there's a long-term crop, we could invest in that, but because we're nearing the end of spring 1, no, we can't risk that. So instead, I think our best option right now with the time and everything would be the potatoes. We can plant them in the quality fertilizer, and then we can also get a few more. Like, it has a chance to drop 2 or 3 maybe, I don't know. It has a chance to drop multiple potatoes, and I think that's what we want, because more potatoes means more selling, and more selling means more money, which more money means I'm rich, and I want to be rich. But I'm not like a Stardew expert, so if these aren't actually the best investment of my money, I'm sorry. We'll learn as we go. We'll see if that was a good choice or not. And if it wasn't, well, I'm just going on my brain and thinking what I want to think and doing what I want to do. And if you have a problem with that, that's okay, because I don't know what I'm doing. So we bought as many potatoes as we could. We are now bankrupt. Wow, so rich. You know, this is a money-making episode. How much money do I have? Oh, you know, 1 gold. So rich. So after I planted those potatoes, they're all nice and planted out, we went to go and see Dottore because, you know, I do want to get that friendship up with him, the highest out of, well, everyone. Spoiler alert, kind of want to marry him. Some people might say that's a controversial thing to want, but I don't care. So after that, I went berry picking because my energy was so low, and I used the rest of it on cutting trees, you know, just so we can have all of these resources. And then I called it a night. That's our first night in. And now let's get on to the next one. So we got a level up on our foraging. We also got 107 gold from going berry picking. Wow, how sweet. Our cauliflower was ready to be harvested, and we also got 2 gold ones. They're gonna be worth a lot, hopefully. We handed in the cauliflower. As I went into selling the crops, we actually were greeted by another capitalist. Not another, I'm not a capitalist in anywhere. I was gonna say in Stardew. I'm not in real life either. Pause. We ran into the capitalist bigwig, Spamton G. Spamton, aka Morris, and he was threatening the store. I don't know what was going on. Well, I do, because I was reading it, but there was some like toxic yaoi going on. We sold what we had, and then we were actually at 1k. Wow, only one more k to go. We're gonna buy some more potatoes with this money because, well, obviously we need to keep harvesting, keep getting our money, and we'll probably do this until near the end of spring, just when it won't become necessary to actually buy any more crops, because, well, they'll just wilt away, and what would be the point? That would not be an investment, that would be the opposite, a divestment, unvestment, no vestment. That doesn't even sound like a real word anymore. Well, none of those were real words, but I meant vestment. Is there an opposite word? Devalue. It's not even in the same word space. So we bought 20 more potatoes. That's a pretty solid amount. And at this point, I honestly just wanted to focus on my farm. Like, instead of going mining and doing all the rest, I really just wanted to focus on the farm and get our potatoes and everything. So if the energy was being depleted from all of the farming, then that's fine. That's just how we'll spend this part of spring. But with that being said, it was set to rain the next day. So I take back what I said, because I will now be going to mine because I don't have to water the plants. So thank you, Mother Nature. We had another early night, a good 3 p.m, you know, as when everyone goes to sleep. Then it was the next day, the rainy day. We got a letter from our mother. I don't know who Ether and Lumine's mother is, if they even have a mother. Honestly, I just assumed they spawned, but we got cookies from her, so thank you, mother. Then we were going to the mines. We had our food, we had our tools. We didn't have the upgrade at this point, so I didn't want to bring all of my tools so that I could actually bring stuff back. And then we headed down into the mines. Hopefully we don't get stuck and ambushed by things, and we can actually descend a bit further. We reached floor 50 and we got some sick new kicks. These shoes, lit, swag. We put them on. We put them on and we had a little bit of an upgrade with our defense. We also got this little yellow shiny thing from tirelessly defeating a ghost spirit. I need a sword upgrade. It's like I was doing 2 damage every hit, 1 sometimes, and I feel like these guys have like 100 because I was hitting it, it would bounce back, and then I'd have to wait, and oh my god. But we got this little yellow shiny thing, which actually at some point I know you have to hand it into the community center, so we'll keep a hold of that and store it away until it's needed. I mined until about 12 a.m. and didn't even realize, so that's on me. Sorry about that. The next day it was sunny, so I had to water my plants and it took almost all of my energy, so that's fun. Can't really do anything else now today. I mean, there are these berries, so I'll definitely take those so we can sell them, you know, every penny counts. I don't think we use pennies here. Every gold piece counts. It really does. And that was, well, that was it. That was all we could do for the day. I farmed some cauliflower and it was just in time for Jodie's little letter to tell me that she needs a cauliflower. So I could just go right over, hand that to her, and there was the easiest 350 gold I have ever made in my life. My Stardew life. Thanks to Jody's gold as well as our other selling, we actually managed to get to 2,000 gold, which means we can finally buy this upgrade that I have been needing for so long. I think the next thing that we will be focusing on is tool upgrades. I'm not too sure which one I want to upgrade. You'd think it would be the watering can because watering takes up like half or all of my energy depending on the day. But if it doesn't rain, the crops won't grow. So it kind of defeats the purpose. So it kind of becomes a bit of a less helpful task and a more annoying one. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. We still need to earn the rest of the gold for that, so it won't be happening anytime soon. We did a little bit of fishing with our remaining energy, sold those fish, and then went to sleep. And we have been getting so many early nights. It's either really early, like 3 p.m, or midnight. There's like almost no in between. We got to level 3 of farming and now we can have bees. Ooh! I hope that they will behave on my farm. Okay, well we can't actually get them because we need to get another thing that we can't get currently because I just don't have the resources for it. But eventually, bees, I will hive them. Funny, I'm so funny. We harvested and sold some more cauliflower. You know how it goes now. A lot of these days are harvesting, selling. That's kind of how Stardew really is when we're not flirting it with a doctor. The mod doctor opposed to the other doctor. There's two. Actually, wait, there's another scientist doctor in here. And we're not flirting with her. We will actually use the money that we currently have because we have enough for this. We are going to upgrade a tool and I chose the axe because I want to chop down some of the trees quicker. And also there is the big logs that have been kind of taking up a bit of the room on the farm and you get like, I don't remember what it's called, thick logs. You get... Ew. And I kind of need those, so we're gonna do that. After I bought my upgrade, I went to the mines, fought some dust sprites for a bounty for the wizard. I couldn't actually get to him in time to like complete it, but we can do that tomorrow. The 21st of spring, that is today. It marks the best day of this farm. Despite our fortune being low, it's actually the best day. And let me tell you why. We were able to harvest our potatoes, our cauliflower, a green bean, one singular green bean, and our strawberries. Sorry, let's go again. That was a potato, a cauliflower, a green bean, and a strawberry? I'm gonna be rich. It was a money day indeed. So let's go and actually see how much all of this is worth. First of all, I had to give the green bean into the community center, so sadly we're gonna lose out on that money. But you know, the first one of everything goes to the community center or the library. And we finished the bundle with that as well. So actually it was very good. The thing we got was a speed fertilizer, but I don't really use those. Not right now, but we'll obviously save it for later because I'm sure there'll be a time when we want something to be planted speedily and I'm sure I won't forget. So we can now go and sell everything else, and when we did, we started with 638 gold, and then once we had sold everything, we had 5,497 gold. Are you kidding me? We earned over 4k on crops alone, and we even got an achievement for it. That was insane. I know I said this was going to be a money day, but I wasn't expecting it to be a money day. Let's reinvest, and this could probably be our last set of potatoes. There might be another one depending on what is still growing, but let's buy our last official big potato bunch. And also, I'm gonna buy a tree. Now, the trees take 28 days, and that's like an entire season, and then they will only be growing fruit in a certain season. If we get an autumn/fall one, we will be able to have the fruit throughout the entire season. We'll just have to wait a couple of in-game weeks for it to actually start producing the fruit. but I think that might be better for us. So I'm actually going to get this apple one, and this might put Dottore away from me. You know, an apple a day does keep the doctor away, but let's hope he can't see behind that mask. And whatever gold we had left, I spent it all on potatoes. I love potatoes so much. I was heading on to meet the wizard when we actually got this cutscene of the two kids of the town, Vincent and Jazz, and they were by the sewer system. And can I just say, their parents, I don't mean to like shame parenting, but dude, they're by like a highly contaminated place and you're just like, you don't know where they are. They could have fallen, they could have gone in there and got locked, they could get diseases. Maybe do keep an eye on like small children around sewage systems. You know, you should be grateful that I'm here. I'm the responsible adult right now. After this, we went over to the wizard and actually got our 600 gold, which was from a bounty before. So now we're richer again. Yay! I planted my apple tree around here somewhere. I'm probably going to regret that in the future. Then I went to redeem my ticket and we actually got some carrots from that. We got 12 carrot seeds for free. So obviously we're going to go and plant those. Thank you, ticket machine. I very much appreciate it. And we may as well just use this remaining energy to plant and water and then just head to bed. We achieved level 4 of farming and we can now make preserve jars, which is what I really wanted to invest in because we can get pickled things, we can get jam, we can get stuff from fish, I think, as well. But that'll be very good for our strawberries. We can make some strawberry jam and hopefully it will be worth a lot. We received 500 gold from our mother. Once again, thank you, mother, whoever you are. I sold everything that I had. Once again, harvest, sell, harvest, sell, harvest, sell, harvest, sell. Why was that really hard to say? And then we went and gifted Dottore a potato because I know he likes those. I made a few preserve jars for our strawberries tomorrow. Hopefully they'll be ready by tomorrow, but I'm not too sure. And we can sell them for more when we have that in. And by some preserve jars, I do mean one, but we'll make some more in the future. And we're actually beginning to make a pretty steady income with selling things like basically every day. So I think it's going pretty well for us. Like we've been in the thousands or like the high hundreds for a few days now. Now to make more preserve jars, we do need to get some more wood. And the only way we can do that is with our axe. What a great transition, me! We are gonna go and get our axe, our new upgraded copper one, and see what that's all about. Ooh, it's so shiny. We can now chop down some of these big logs as well, which like I said before is what I was really looking forward to. Now we have enough hardened wood, I remembered the name. Now we have enough hardened wood to actually give in to the community center. So I collected a few other things, and because I had no energy left from cutting down trees and logs and everything, I just went to the community center to hand everything in. I went into the boiler room, which was unlocked a little bit ago, and handed in the stuff and then went to bed. And then you know what I realized as I was going back home? I forgot to give in the one thing that I meant to give in. The logs! They were still in my backpack, just sitting there. So we'll have to just do that tomorrow. I don't know how I forgot the one thing that I was there to give in, but you know, it happens, and it did happen this time, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. We reached level 3 of foraging and got some moss soup. It was a beautiful day preparing for the flower dance. We got to the flower dance time and things have been going so well with me and Dottore, and I'm really hoping that when I ask him, he'll want to dance with me. I think now as well I'm going to stop buying my seeds until the summertime because of the date. It will there'll be no point. And also for summer I'm going to change the layout, probably all of it, because I really don't like how some of it looks. When I walk out, it's slow because I'm walking on, the ground where the plants are. So I might have a little path there. Maybe we'll figure it out, but something nice to walk on would be, nice. I gifted Dottore my carrot, and then I sold the rest. Ew, ether. Nasty boy. I went to the community center and handed in the logs and then received a charcoal kiln. For the rest of the day, with the rest of my energy, we went cave diving, cave mining, caving in to the pressures of society. And also some floor progression if we can get that. While mining, I did actually find a book after I completely destroyed a stupid loser. And we got this book about hunting monsters, and you can get double drops sometimes. So thank you to education and to reading. Of course, I read that. And now hopefully we can get some more drops from all of the bosses that we take so long to destroy. So long. I need to look into getting a new sword so badly. After our adventure, we got to floor 55. And we also had enough bat wings now in total to give into the community center, as well as the little golden ball thing. We got to level 3 of combat, and that gave us some roots platter, whatever. Yeah, food, thanks. And also 5 plus HP. We'll take the HP. Oh wow, this really does feel like Genshin. Today is the flower dance, and like I said before, I'm really hoping that Dottore will take my hand in his and we will dance the night away. I used up my morning energy on chopping some wood just so that it wouldn't be a waste of a day, and watering a few plants, and then we went to the flower dance. There were some decorations and a rare crow for sale. Sadly, I didn't have enough gold for the rare crow, so we're gonna have to wait till next year to get that. But I did buy a little decoration. I bought a wallflower because it reminds me of Lumine, kind of. I mean, it's a completely different color, but you know, she has a flower in her hair, and I'm sure that's what Ether would feel every time he sees a flower. And then it was the moment of truth. We saw Dottore stood there all on his own. It was just the perfect opportunity. I went up to him, I put my hand out, and I said, "Will you share this dance with me?" I don't take part in such frivolous events. And he rejected me. So that hurt, but it's okay, you know. We don't know each other that well yet anyway, so it's fine. I will respect your decision, and I will now just watch everyone else dance while I just sit at the front. It's better than before. I remember before you had to sit alone in the corner, which was really depressing, so I'm kind of glad at least I'm at the front. But I'm alone at the front, so is it really any better? I put my flower up in our room, and then I went to bed for the night. And then this really weird thing happened. So I was preparing myself for the next day. You know, I had my hands on the keyboard and on the mouse and everything. And then I look up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? There's a fairy on my screen. Why? I was so confused. And it just like, it tapped some of the plants and then flew away. Like, what the hell just happened? What am I watching? What is going on? I don't even know how to react. I was genuinely shocked that I like froze on screen for a while. I was like, what was that? I've never seen that happen before. But other than that, we reached level 5 of farming, and we had these options presented to us, either relating to animals or to crops. Now, I feel like even in the future, I feel like we'll always have more crops available that we'll be like constantly selling. So I decided to go with that one. If that's the wrong choice, people usually go with the other one. Well, this is my playthrough. I put a strawberry in the preserve jar and farmed the rest, and I don't know what the fairy did. I don't know if it made the crops better quality or if it made them grow, or I don't know, changed it so it's like magical, so if you eat it you like become a fairy, but I'm not gonna risk that. So I just farmed everything that I had, and I guess if the fairy ever shows up again, we can see what happens that time. But so I handed in the bat wings to the community center, and we got another bundle, and the thing in this bundle was something we already own. The exact same magnet ring that we are currently wearing. Literally the exact same one. But I guess there's no harm in wearing them both. So we'll just put it on anyways. Why not, you know? why not? I also went into this vault part of the community center and gave 2.5k gold to it. And we got 3 chocolate cakes, which is really good. Much better than the duplicate ring, because a lot of the people love cakes. Like, I'm pretty sure that's a universal gift. Dottore likes them as well, so we'll remember that for the future. We'll definitely be giving him a whole chocolate cake. Hopefully then he'll love me. And that was all I did for day 25, and a bit of mining as well. I made one more preserve jar at the end of the day and put a final strawberry in before heading off to bed. At some point, I would love to have a bunch of these preserve jars, but as of right now, we're gonna stick with the 3 that we have and use our materials on other things. I think 3 is a pretty good amount. Maybe a 4th one could be nice, but 3 is like, it's a pretty good number. It's a pretty good number. My pick upgrade was what I wanted the most, so I made my way over to Clint and got my pick to be beginning to upgrade, because it takes a while to even mine stone, and I really want to upgrade that. And also there's no sign of rain in the future, so I think the watering can at this stage of spring would be a little bit of a waste. So we'll have to get to the watering can probably autumn. We'll see. Or either at the very beginning or the very end of summer. Or the same with autumn. We'll get it done within this year of Stardew. For the rest of the day, because I didn't have a pick, I just decided to do some fishing. You know, we haven't been fishing in a while. I also do want to get some more fish and some more things so I can sell them, and then we can buy the next rod upgrade, because we've been using this like training rod for a while and I'm ready for the next level. You know, I'm ready to be one of the big time champions, the fishers. While we were fishing as well, I saw Argenti chilling, as you do. He does remind me of Argenti a lot. He's just like a ginger brunette blonde whatever hair color version of Argenti who likes to stay by the sea. You know, I was actually thinking about that. We have Dottore in here, like the real one, but I was thinking it could be fun to like befriend characters in this who feel Genshin or Star Rail themed, you know, to some degree. So like Argenti as Elliot, Alex kind of as Child. They have like a kind of similar like constantly working kind of workout. Sam as Ito, maybe, you know, that himbo energy. Jazz as Klee? I don't know, you know, we'll figure all that out, but I think that could be fun. The ones that like heavily relate to Genshin or Star Rail characters, we could become friends with them. After fishing for a bit, I was able to sell my fish and buy the next fishing upgrade, and I also just bought 2 bait, even though I'm pretty sure I have some already crafted. I just wanted to test it out to see what it was like. I still have a lot of money to spare. This must be how the 1% feel. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to go to Clint and actually get some of our geodes processed, because it has been a while since we have done any of that. The end of the season is a good time to clean up your act and get everything changed, so I think our processing geodes would be a good thing. We reached level 3 of fishing and gained the crab pot, which is gonna be a good thing for the community center. We'll get to that probably in summertime, and we'll have a look at what we need to do for those. Also, the fairy was back. That same fairy was back again, blessing my crops. Now, I'd planted some bamboo, and it was at the very first stage of planting, so we'll see what she does. You can't hide from me forever, fairy. In the morning, however, before I could actually get out and see my crops, Demetrius was there, and he was telling us about the little cave that we have on our farm and some things that we could do with it, and whether we can have fruit bats or mushrooms. I think honestly, as a long-term investment, the fruit bats would probably be the best option. I mean, fruit in general, we can put it in the preserve jars. That would be a higher profit in the long run. I'm not too sure, but I think I'm gonna go with the fruit bats. I think they will be appearing within a few days, so we'll go and check that out if I remember. Actually, that's probably one of those things I'm gonna forget. So that berry did make things grow. I wasn't expecting it to actually make anything grow. So when I saw that, I mean, it makes sense. The things that she magicked before did grow. I just thought they were already there. So then I harvested, watered, sold all of the plants that we had, our little daily routine, and then I headed over to Clint with our geodes to see what we could get. I was hoping for some stuff for the library, at least a couple of things, because I feel like we haven't upgraded anything there or donated there for a while. We did find a couple of new things for the library, as well as a drum. Of course, there would be an ancient blue drum found in the frozen parts of the mines. Why wouldn't there? After donating everything to the library, we actually had 3 new rewards to collect. We had this standee, we had some melon seeds, and we have a starfruit seed pack, just one of them. And that's all there ready for the summertime. So we're gonna put those away for now, obviously. We're not gonna be using them in the spring because, well, that would be a waste. And because I didn't have my pickaxe available because Clint is still working on that, we couldn't really do anything else for the rest of the day. So that was all for day 27. It ended with chopping some trees to get some more materials so we could hopefully get a barn or a hut or whatever it is that the first one is, that we can get a little chicken, because I'm hoping we can get that for either summer or fall, so that we can have a little chicken and we can have a little paimon. We have a little scaramouche, scaramouche as we call him, and I think it's about time we had paimon here in some form or another, and I think her being a chicken is quite funny, actually. I did a final scavenge around, found a skeleton hand on the floor. I'm not gonna question that too much, but I will ask, why is it there? And now I will ask no more questions because I'm scared of the answers. And then we went to bed for the final day of spring. Sadly, we didn't manage to get another strawberry harvest for the springtime, which is honestly really sad. It's okay, they'll be next year. Rest in peace, Teyvat Farm strawberries. You will be missed. Our farm is also, for some reason, being added to the up and coming collection of a farm magazine. I don't know why, because the place kind of looks a mess, but to each their own. I won't complain. We did our final sales for the season and we now have 6,939 gold going into spring. That is insane. I think I have definitely made the most, literally, of the month. Now there are 3 things that I have left planned for the day. I want to donate these 2 things that I have to the community center. I want to give Gunther the human hand and say nothing. It wasn't me. I just found it. And then I want to get my pickaxe because we need that upgraded and it is ready to collect. Maybe we'll even end this season off with a little bit of mining. I'm sure it'll be so much fun. It was not fun. Not at all. We kept getting followed by this ghost and I was just trying to mine peacefully, and because my sword is like so low level, I couldn't do anything. I was just watching it slowly fly over to me and then I'd have to hit it and then it would fly away and then I'd mine and then it would come back, and I just need my sword upgraded so badly. And to make it even worse, I didn't manage to get to floor 60. I only got to floor 59 and then I had too low energy to try and find the staircase. It was such a mess of a final day. Progression? I don't know her, babes. I've never heard of her. We would just sell the remains of what we have and place our little drum key down somewhere. I'm sure it won't get annoying. And after that we headed to bed, and that was the end of spring, and here we are into summer, going in with level 6 farming, level 4 foraging, and level 3 mining, 3 upgrades, all to say hello to summer. Honestly, that's probably the best ending I could have asked for, considering what I had before was kind of a nightmare.